All right, today's match will be something quite simple. Here's my WBP Fox kit. However, the only difference is that this time I have a 3x24 micro Trijicon ACOG on it. So I'm excited to run that. I got it off Gunbroker for pretty cheap. When I got it, it was in good shape, except that the adjustments were actually bottomed out by some brute, and I couldn't move them until I kind of put like a wrench on it. I did get it zeroed in, and I do have it connected to an AK master mount system. I actually ran this mount off of my friend's Micro Draco. It's a very similar mount because I stole it from him. But the ACOG does mount directly to it, and I have this very, very nice vertical offset. Today's match has a cool theme. There are two divisions where basically one is called 5-0 and the other one is Thug Life.
It says no 5-0 shooters will begin with guns chambered, engage targets freestyle, and all misses and no shoot penalties be applied to scored. The Thug Life shooters will begin with empty chambers, engage handgun targets one-handed only, and are exempt from no shoot penalties.
Yeah, so if you're in Thug Life division, you had a little bit easier. I ended up choosing 5-0 class, and I do care about not hitting the no hits during the course. But I can use two hands. Stage 2. Stage 2 is simple enough. The stage starts with you seated in a chair, and you must engage two rifle targets from sitting in the chair. Once you do that, then you proceed to the rest of the stage obstacles, which you must engage two hits from each the right, the left, and the underside of each object. Now, doing this with a magnified optic, this is actually very easy for me, and this AK is just immediately turned into a laser. One of the things I'm noticing that I'm doing here is that it appears to be crowding the barricades a little bit. I don't need to. If you start going up closely, you have to pull the rifle back a lot more, and then you end up pushing it forward. It just ends up wasting movement. I got to work on that in the future. Okay, I missed a handful of times up to this point. So what I do here is I actually do a tactical reload, but I end up incurring a penalty because of this. That rifle magazine had, I think, 3 or 4 rounds still left in it, and I chose to leave it behind. So I ended up getting a 10-second penalty because of that. I misunderstood the rule of the dropped magazine. Now here I have a plate rack, and behind there are no shoots. So every time I hit a no shoot, which I think I hit one right there, is a 10-second penalty.
One penalty.
Unload that. I see clear.
I made quick work of it, and I ended up getting 89 seconds or so on the stage, so not bad.
How could this happen to me? I made my mistakes, got nowhere to run. The night goes.
Stage 3, I'm going to take a moment here to kind of show the Bronco and then the series of cardboard targets that we need to navigate through. Now, if you're in Thug Life class, this would be easy because you could just shoot through the 2 no-shoot targets that are in the middle, and of course the 2 rifle targets like in the back. But you can see it's a little bit more difficult if you're in 5-0. So first, I start by getting handgun, and I'm aiming for the edges of the innermost targets, and then trying to go for headshots of the rearmost targets of the 4. Then when you're done, you then ground your pistol and then pick up your rifle and engage 2 targets in the back. I support off of the door, which is easy enough. But I end up having a little bit of difficulty trying to get a proper shooting position right on the steering wheel. What I should have done in the future is probably go over a little bit further so that way I could prop up on the dash. And I am intentionally trying to look cool with double taps, but I just make it look like it's an accident. So yeah, not that cool. As I get out, my sling also gets stuck on the steering wheel, so that slows me down for just a moment. Now you go into the second part of the stage. Now as I start taping it up, there's these 6 cones that you're supposed to shoot 2 targets from, 1 hit each. And again, the magnified optic just makes quick work of this. Nothing really too much to say here for the rest of the stage. I plan to bring this setup to Woodland Brutality in a couple weeks, and this is a great practice run to make sure the gear works all good.
Time. 94:61.
Luckily, they say the time in this video because we did not have access to the stage time after the match. But overall, not bad. So finally, stage 1, which is the stage I think with the most running of the match.
Stand by.
So first, you engage these 3 popper targets on the bottom with no hits behind there, and then I'm going to put 3 hits on that standing steel. Then I run back and grab my rifle, and then I move to shoot from these barrels. From the left, the top, and the right, making sure that if I'm shooting from the side, I have to be below the top of the barrel. And there's 3 of these barrels, so we just go left, middle, right, and then all the way back, middle to left. I take my time here because the steel silhouette is in front of 3 no-hit targets. So if I miss, that is a penalty incurred. All right, now we table the rifle, and then we're going to run up back to our pistol, and then put 3 more hits in the standing steel with the pistol, and then the stage is complete. I don't remember what time I got for that, but I think it was pretty good. Overall, the match I get 11 out of 42 shooters, and then 3rd out of 17 in my class, which is the best I've ever done for that class. So that makes me happy.